So we have kind of a way to distinguish between lymphoid organs, and that is whether or not they're primary or secondary. So primary lymphoid organs are where the lymphocytes are produced. So remember, the lymphocytes include the B lymphocytes and the T lymphocytes. And so the primary organs include, and I could write primary this way, primary, include bone marrow. And so this is where the B cells and the T cells are produced. This is actually where your red blood cells and platelets are also being produced. So all of your blood cells are produced by your red, we'll put red bone marrow. Okay. The secondary are where they actually are mature and encounter the antigens that they are going to learn to detect. But before we get to that, I need to mention that there is also an organ that's under the primary called the thymus. And the thymus gland is very interesting because it's located up in the neck, and there's two sides of it. And in the middle is your thyroid gland, which is not a lymphoid organ. And the thymus, when we're born, is very, very large. But as we age, it starts to shrink. And in older people, it is almost like you can't even see it. So it actually just shrinks to the point where you cannot see it. So the thymus has a really important role, and this is where T cells mature. So they actually learn to detect self from non-self, which is super important because we don't want our immune system attacking our own body cells. So the thymus as well as the red bone marrow are referred to as primary lymphoid organs. And you can see that in this diagram. So we have the thymus up in the neck, and then the, oh, I don't see this one, but there could be a picture of a bone marrow someplace that would also be part of the primary lymphoid organs. Okay, so we also have the secondary. So secondary. And this would be all the other organs. So it would be like where mature. So where mature lymphocytes reside. And are able to detect antigens and are exposed. And antigens are just pieces, perhaps, of foreign or abnormal or microbes that the T cells and the B cells are able to detect and to recognize. So we'll talk more about antigens when we get to the immune system. So this would include your lymph nodes, your tonsils, your Peyer's patches, the spleen. All of those would be considered secondary lymphoid organs.